Welcome to Anchored Not Anxious. This is where you discover anchoring practices for anxiety and worry, gain a deep trust in God, and develop an internal peace by living off His Word. I'm Terry Hutchinson, your host. In my 20s, I had my life trajectory planned. My internal messaging said I should be able to do it myself. My parents expected me to be independent. The responsibility of learning was on my back. This got me in a lot of trouble because I had no street smarts. Dangerous, even then. The fact was, self-reliance was my only option. I became a master at directing my life. CLO, Chief Life Direction Officer. Sure, I took under advisement what others said, weighed it against my opinion, and then often discarded or discounted the advice, opting for my own. Here's a question. Are you hyper-independent, self-reliant? So indulge me and take this quiz. Keep track of your yes answers to the questions. Do you handle all or nearly all your issues alone without asking for help? Do you believe anxiety or overthinking can go away on its own or you can fix yourself? Do you refrain from sharing your anxious thoughts, overwhelm, for fear of negative labels? Do you dislike or avoid talking about your emotions, weaknesses, or vulnerabilities? Do you believe professional help for anxiety doesn't or won't work for you? Are you self-treating your anxiety, overwhelm, or overthinking? If many of your answers are yes, it's likely you're self-reliant. Self-reliance is helpful until it becomes a source for your anxiety and worry. Researchers studied those aged 44 to 60 and found that they have the highest rates of diagnosed anxiety of any age group. That's the diagnosed people, not to mention the undiagnosed. This age group is the same generation that was raised to be hyper-independent. If you were raised to be ultra self-reliant, you might believe seeking help with anxiety, depression, and intolerance of uncertainty, fear, or intrusive worry is a sign of failure. My independent and poor quality decisions piled up in my life. I thought asking for help was a sign of failure. Later, in my 30s and 40s, it never occurred to me that my self-reliance fed my anxiety and worry. Perhaps in your youth, you had to figure things out because no one was there to help you. In the meantime, life is only getting harder, not easier, and the weight of making all the decisions and finding fixes is burdensome and elevating emotional and mental turmoil. Thoughts and feelings of insecurity, humiliation, shame, discouragement, fear, anxiety, intolerance of uncertainty, sadness thrive when you isolate from others. And all of those thoughts and feelings are powerful and potentially debilitating emotional and mental states. Reaching out, taking steps for support requires vulnerability. Guess what? Vulnerability and self-reliance can be opposing forces. Independence says you should handle it or you've got to handle it, while a vulnerable stance says you are open to possibilities beyond yourself, that it's okay to ask and receive help. You can be both self-reliant and vulnerable, open to new opinions and support, if you know how to place self-reliance on pause. Pausing self-reliance opens a door for emotional and spiritual growth and for development of new thought patterns. Answer the following questions to determine if a pause is right for you. Could you have a subconscious habit of dismissing others' opinions and perspectives? Do you give more weight and value to the help offered than your own options? Have you put up walls for self-protection, preventing you from receiving support? Does insecurity prevent you from asking for support? Do you second guess a decision made without input from others? Does the second guessing cause you to be anxious or worried? Depending on your answers, pausing self-reliance may be necessary. The fact is, self-reliance usually leaves no room for God. It's often because you've got a timeline or you believe you know best. Maybe it's time to let God take over as CLO, especially if you know in your heart you are not making any headway with your do-it-yourself methods. What happens if you rely on God? Well, God can reveal gaps in your thought process or pending decision. God can bring people into your life with information you don't have. God can prompt you to dig a little more to reveal a lie or to reveal a truth. God provides peace in the chaos and becomes solid ground in an unstable situation. And God speaks into you spiritual truths that resonate with your mind and soul. Of course, you'll have to be patient, for God works in His time. And you'll have to let go of wanting what you want and believe in an alternative path. That's a lot. I know because I did it. Here's how it felt when I initially started relying on God. I was walking a high wire without a net. No control, scary, ridiculous, and risky. Turning over the keys to God felt like a loss at first, not a gain. But if you live it for a while, relying on God, I believe you'll see a shift happen. And here's the important question. Do you know how to pause self-reliance? One possibility is that it starts with speaking aloud or writing out your thoughts or feelings. The process of writing or speaking can reduce self-consciousness or self-protection. Each time you write or speak about the problem, go deeper, get raw and real about it. Hang out with it. Get comfortable having it out in the open, on that piece of paper or the words hanging in the air. This isn't going to eliminate the thought or feeling, but it can give you a sense of control to see it or hear it. And it creates a bit of separation between you and what you think and feel. I believe God wants you to share that with Him. Matthew 6:6 from the Message describes Jesus' thoughts on how to get with God. Here's what I want you to do. Find a quiet, secluded place so you won't be tempted to role play before God. Just be there as simply and honestly as you can manage. The focus will shift from you to God, and you will begin to sense His grace. What is grace? No judgment, no condemnation, no disappointment, no you should have. With God, you are in a no shame zone. Take a moment. Imagine it. A room, a table, and 2 chairs. Jesus sits in one chair and you in the other. And Jesus looks at you and says, with hands, palms up, reaching out, "What's going on?" And you release thoughts and feelings creating havoc and chaos within. In return, Jesus provides kindness, love, and wisdom for your honest and raw feelings and thoughts. This isn't some feel-good moment. Jesus wants more for you, wants you to rely on Him, turn toward Him in those anxious and fearful moments. And trust God with what you cannot control. Take some time and open space for God to move, speak, and work in your life. You can always go back to your way. I ask you give it 3 to 5 months of getting vulnerable and setting aside self-reliance to grow and heal. For more information on anxiety, overwhelm, and trusting God, go to anchorednotanxious.com. Find me on Facebook, Terry Hutchinson, and TikTok, Terry Hutchinson 76. All right, until next time.